Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of Pop's F100. Where we last left off was I had the motor just basically sitting just like it is. I went yesterday and I talked to a local speed shop. It's Atlanta Speed Shop here in Gainesville. And I talked with them about breaking the motor in for me. You know, putting it on a dyno, tuning it, going ahead and setting the timing for it, getting the carburetor set up, getting everything done. Because, I mean, it's one of those things to where, yeah, I could plumb the new cooling system and diagnose a leak. I could probably get the carburetor tuned well enough to run. I could look for oil leaks. I've never broke in a flat tappet cam before, so I'm a little bit anxious about doing that. Even though this is an older engine, and it shouldn't be subject to a lot of the problems that people are having recently with flat tappet cams. But anyway, anything can happen, I know. But once you start getting all of that, plus oil pressure, plus, you know, any other kind of vacuum leaks or whatever, it just gets to be way too much for me, for one person, I guess. I mean, but especially for me. Anyway, so I talked with those guys, and they're going to put this on the dyno and basically break the cam in for me, get the carburetor tuned, get the timing set, get everything ready where all I've got to do is just drop it right in. Along with me being anxious about breaking in a new cam, I mean, also that comes with, I would have to put exhaust manifolds on it, because my dad has a brand new set of ceramic coated headers, and from what I've been reading, that it'll ruin them if you're trying to break in a new cam, break in a whole new engine basically with that set of headers on it. So I would have to put the motor in the truck, take the exhaust manifolds off of another junk motor we've got over here, put those on, run some temporary exhaust, then hopefully get the cam broke in without ruining it, and then I'd have to take all the exhaust back off and install the headers, and basically it's doing a lot of work twice that I really just don't want to do. So anyway, those guys know what they're doing. He said that he could not guarantee 100% that it wouldn't wipe a lobe off the cam, because it is a flat tappet cam, but I believe that being in their environment, it has the best chance to make it. And we're going to use AMSOIL break-in oil. A friend of mine, Nathan Aller, he's a dealer for AMSOIL, so he's going to get me the stuff that I need, good filter. But one of the things the guys at the speed shop asked me, he said, well, has it been sealed up in a bag? And I was like, well, no, not really. I said, it does have some surface rust. I mean, you can see it here, you know, around where the areas that aren't painted. And he kind of got a concerned look in his eye, and he said, well, have you looked at the cam? And I said, well, no. I said, but he has had the valley pan on, which is this, and he's had, you know, always had some type of a blanket or a sheet or something over it. But he said, yeah, you might want to look at the cam first. So, and he asked me, did I look under the valve covers? And I said, no. I said, but they're just sitting on there. He said, well, look at all that stuff before you bring it. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to pop the valve covers off. I don't think there's but a couple of bolts holding them on, and there's not even a gasket there. And we're going to take the valley pan off, and hopefully this cam is good. So let's go ahead and pop the valve covers off first, and let's see what we've got under there. Alright. Oh, thank goodness. Looks like everything's got or had a coating of oil on it at one point. Looks like everything's nice and clean on this side. Let's check the other side. Oh, good. just like the other side, nice and clean. That's good. That's a real relief for sure. Oh man. All right, let's take the valley pan off. All right, moment of truth. Oh goodness, thank goodness. Cam lobes look nice and clean from what I can see, but they are dry, so that cam may need to come out and have all of the valve train lubricated again before they start it up, but I'm going to let those guys handle that. I'd much rather they do it, because like I said, they know what they're doing. I don't want to get in here and start guessing at stuff, so we'll let them take the cam out, put some assembly lube on everything, make sure all the rockers, or make sure all the lifters are spinning freely in the bores and what all they need to be doing. So anyway, that's a relief. That is a huge relief. So I think what I'm going to concentrate on doing is trying to remove some of this surface rust. I don't know if that's going to do any good or not, but so also we're going to get the transmission separated from the engine, because I mean all they need is the engine. They need the engine, and I believe you said they needed the flywheel, or flex plate rather, and they will need timing cover, water pump, and balancer. So we're going to round those parts up there, floating around the shop somewhere. And well, let's get busy doing that. First thing we're going to have to do is pull the flex plate bolts off. That should be all, but let's see. Make sure there's not a fifth one. Pretty sure there's not. Yep, that's it. This is 4. All right. Alright, got that part off. Let's get this motor put up on the engine stand. That way I can kind of work on it at waist level instead of crawling around here on the floor. Well, I don't have the right size bolts. Doggone it. So I guess I'm going to have to go to Tractor Supply and pick me up a few. That's 2 1/4. And I'll be back. That's a lot of weight. Alright, you can see the crank snout's pretty, it's not really rusty, it's just got a coating of surface rust on it. This shop sweats a lot in the springtime and the fall when there's like a wide temperature change, especially if it goes from cold and then the sun beats down on the shop all day long without anybody opening the doors, then all the metal inside the shop gets sweaty. So again, that's what's going on these other spots. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and polish this up right now real quick and get it ready to accept the balancer. Now what I usually use for this kind of job is WD-40 and a Scotch Brite pad, but we don't have any available right now, so we got some penetrating oil. This will do the trick just as well. Just want to put some on the snout there. And you're going to polish it up. Oh yeah, much better. And I'm not too worried about this down here because this is on a minor diameter. This is your major diameter. I'm pretty sure this is where the balancer is going to ride. Don't quote me on that, but there's also a major diameter in the rear, and it cleaned up very nice as well. So again, I'm not too worried about this. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Now let's start tackling some of these other pieces. Just trying to get anywhere where there's going to be a seal or some kind of other contact with a mating part. Just want to get that cleaned up so there's no chance for a leak or any kind of misalignment or anything. And also you don't want to knock this crap down into the motor, so that's what's good about having the oil on hand. It kind of keeps it from just falling down in the motor. Oh yeah, much better. I'm happy with that. That looks much better than what it was. All right, that looks nice. All right, we're going to have to get ourselves a new valley pan and intake gasket because the one that was on here has been damaged from lifting it in and out a few times. So the port here around this water jacket, the port over here around this water jacket, both of them are damaged. So I'd rather just play it safe and, oh, sorry guys, and just make sure I just put a brand new part on there, or at least give those guys at the speed shop a nice new part to work with. Tell you what, let's roll this motor over because I want to look on the inside of it, make sure a rat hadn't built a nest in there. Well, I don't think I'm going to be able to roll this one over. At least not by myself anyway. Oh, I can't even, nope. And I can't even pull the pin out. There we go. All right. That's going to have to be good enough because this is all it took for me to do it. Whatever. You guys know what I mean. Let's take a look at the bottom. All right. I don't see any unwanted guests houses up in there, but I think I do need to clean off these pan rails a little. Make sure they seal, because I mean, you see the gasket right here. It's got gunk all over it. I'd rather get all that off just to make sure it doesn't leak. So let's do that. Alright. So I just ran the timing cover through the bead blast cabinet. Got it all nice and cleaned up. Very usable. Now I've got to struggle in trying to turn this engine back upright. But my luck, when I went to pick this up where it was in the shop, look what I found. That's the bolts. That's the bolts for the engine stand. But anyway, stuff's everywhere, but we'll get it. Alright guys, it's the next day. I'm going to wrap the video up. I went ahead and found the water pump and the thermostat housing. Oh, guess you need to see that, don't you? Right down there. I found the water pump, thermostat housing. I went ahead and gave those a coat of self-etching primer. I'm going to give those a coat of silver paint here before I leave the shop today. I also had to come and take some pictures of the inside of the motor and the camshaft for the fellow over there at the speed shop. He wanted to see that before I brought it. I am still waiting on the hardware for the timing cover and water pump set. I think I bought new hardware for the oil pan and valve covers, and I know that I bought new hardware for the intake manifold. And what else? Anyway, I'm waiting on hardware to come in where it can be fully assembled at the speed shop and they don't have to go searching for anything. But I just wanted you guys to see one thing right here. I completely forgot that this is what my dad used to call the old truck, and Wendy had made him this tag for Christmas. Oh God, I don't know how many years ago. I just saw this box sitting on the shelf, and I don't know if you can even see that. It says tag on it. Kind of got me curious of what was in it, and old Blueford, that's what he calls the truck. So that'll be going on the front as soon as we get the bumper on. I hope you guys follow along. There's going to be more episodes of this. This is just like, I think, the second one. There's probably going to be 10 or more. I've got all the sheet metal. That inner fender needs to be completely prepped and painted. He has a brand new radiator support right there. And there's parts all over the shop. And we're going to put them all on and get this truck going. It may not be the show truck that he wanted it to be, but by God, it'll be running and driving. And to me, that's more important than anything. So I hope you guys tune in next time, and we'll see you then. Thanks. Also had to come and take some pictures of the cam and inside the motor for the fella at the, oh good grief. Also had to come and